Many of our schools now include a sensory room. A sensory room is not a calming room, it is not a quiet room. It is a way for us to help students manage their senses in an environment that they can control. Safety is as important here as it is in any other classroom, and in some ways we're going to follow the same kinds of rules that we use in the regular classroom. Equipment here is different. You will very seldom see desks or chairs. What you will see is a wide variety of equipment, much of which is stored often in another location, such as a closet or a cupboard. What is in the room, you'll notice, is on the periphery. It is held tight to the wall and is kept away from the usual footpaths used by students and staff as they go about their business of the day. When objects are brought out into the room and are being used by students, we have to create a habit where someone in the room, whether it is staff or student, ensures that by the time we've finished using the room, everything goes back to the outsides of the walls. At all times, pathways have to remain clear. Within a sensory room, one of the components that needs to be regulated is light. And so we need to make sure that when that's done safely. If the sensory room is a room that is not equipped with dimmers or is not equipped with switches that turn off specific lights, some rooms order a light covering. The light covering that is used needs to be made of a fire retardant fabric. It needs to fit well, and it needs to be put onto the light in a very safe manner. In some schools, the custodian will go up using a step stool or a ladder and make sure that these are attached. At other times, a member of the staff will do that themselves, but always using a step stool or a step ladder. We keep these in our schools. Every school has been equipped with a regulation step ladder by the Joint Health Safety Committee. Please make sure that any light coverings remain safe. Make sure that the covering for the actual light itself is not removed before putting on the light dimmer, and that there is an understanding that it is well attached so that it cannot fall. As in any room in the school, if you see cupboards, if you see closets, if you see storage areas, it's important to go over and open the door. What are you looking for? Well, in the case of sinks, you're looking for, is there an area of wetness? Is there an odor of mustiness? Is there any sign of rodents or rodent droppings? These are important things to be putting down on your inspection sheet. If you find rodent droppings, please do not handle them yourself. These can spread bacteria and that becomes airborne and need to be cleaned up in particular ways. Your custodian knows how to do this safely. So particularly in our rural schools, be looking carefully. Rodent droppings, report them, have them dealt with. So part of your job when you're going through to inspect a classroom or any of our workspaces is to check all of the plugs. In the case of grounded plugs such as this, the third prong needs to be there. If for whatever reason it has been removed, then you're going to remove this particular item. The school has two choices. They can have an electrician repair this, very costly, or they can replace it. When you're inspecting, you should also be checking the back. Is this a CSA approved plug, Canadian Standards Act? It may also say ULC, and that is also an acceptable safety stamp for use in our schools. So as with any space where workers are, there should be an ability to contact someone for help. Part of your job as an inspection, during an inspection, is to pick up the phone and make sure that it works. If there is no phone in that particular location, ask about the use of walkie-talkies. Make sure that staff understands that they should have one on hand when working in that space. One of the most common items, and certainly an item that is showing up more and more in our sensory rooms, is a large size swing for students who require that very gentle vestibular stimulation. It's a large object. Like the SmartBoard, you need to make sure that all 4 legs are well grounded, that there is no tipping hazard, and that all parts of it are in good shape. Don't be afraid to go over and touch it, to try to shake it, to try to move it. It makes good sense, because if it's not safe, someone's going to get hurt. So the use of push pins in a classroom is problematic. In many cases, students who are agitated, frustrated, and aggressive can be searching for a weapon, and a push pin is an excellent weapon, easily pulled and used to attack another student or perhaps a staff member. These can be replaced easily with staples. You can use your stapler to attach what you need to attach to your bulletin board or wall. No ifs, ands, or buts. Pathways need to be clear. It doesn't matter whether it's in a classroom, whether it's in a lab, it's in a gym, or if it's in a hallway. Students who keep their boots and shoes within the hallway area need to make sure that they are well lined up and tidied up against the wall to create a very clear pathway. School bags, book bags, coats need to be out of this area altogether or pushed tightly against the wall. The main thing is to make sure that there are no slip, trip, or fall hazards here.